It really should not have taken me this long to get back to recording this, but the amount of footage I had to edit was quite depressing. Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Ekamak, this is Limbus Company, Spring Cultivation. To timestamp it, okay, it would probably help if I actually had all the ego shards I needed. If we go for 200 in Yi Seng, that was almost the right number. So let's check out this new identity in person.
구주가 바라는 홍원은 아씨가 바라는 홍원과 그 끝에서 남아 다 있더구려. 그 길이 피로 점철되어 있더라도 나는 미처 피어나지 못한 아씨의 꿈을 대신 이루려 하오. 그러니 아씨, 이 못난 호의를 부디 용서치 마시게.
His Majesty's Hongwan converges with your vision for Hongwan as its culmination, young miss. I intend to realize your dream that has failed to bloom, though his path be riddled with bloodshed. Thus, young miss, please never forget this wretched guard of yours. Okay, let's check him out. The other reason why I haven't actually been able to do the stuff that I want to do anything is because, well, you might have heard about the 22 kilobyte glitch. So at the moment he has a 2+4 skill, so it rolls a 10. Or a 12 if he has 5 plus 5 rupture plus tremor. For Crescent Blade Strike, coin power +1 for every 5 rupture plus tremor on target to a maximum of 2, so it rolls a 13 but it could roll a 15. Inflict 2 rupture count, inflict 2 tremor, trigger tremor burst and reduce tremor count by 1. Combat start gain Strider Woo. Max stack 3, turn end, gain haste and stack times 2 aggro. Before attack, inflict stack tremor potency against the main target. Lose 1 stack at turn end. Okay, so off screen, I've been considering making a video talking about identities that a new player might want to pick up and focus on. And something that I realized is that out of all the high defense level characters, only one of them has a +5 and resists slash. It's the infamous Slosh Mail. But clearly they must have realized it and had it on the drawing board, because now they've fixed it with Wu Adept Yi Seng. Now that said, I want to avoid mentioning the current season 6 identities because those will age poorly, I guess, with how they get taken off the dispenser for a while. But yeah, anyway, Unbreakable Coin, 10 + 3, gain Strider Woo, gain haste, gain aggro. Before attack, inflict stack tremor potency against the target, but only 6 per turn, and then lose a stack at turn end. This is why he gains it next turn and not this turn. If we up tie, his maximum speed goes from 3 to 5 to 3 to 6. If this unit's speed is faster than the target coin power +1. So that can reach a 14 if both conditions are triggered. But they're triggered separately, so you can't get the full power just through speed or just through rupture tremor. Oh, inflict rupture count on target, that's nice. If this unit's speed is faster than the target, coin power +1. Coin power +1 for every 5 rupture plus tremor on target to a maximum of 2. 1, 2, 3. 8. It's rolling a 19 and it's only uptide 2. If target has Deathrite, inflict a concussion. Multiply the amount of stagger threshold raised by tremor burst and rupture damage dealt against this unit by 1.2 rounded down. Lose a stack at turn end. Gain Line Breaker when meeting one of the following conditions. When this unit's speed is faster than the target by 2 or more. When triggering a tremor burst twice with its skills, including ego skills. I wonder if that means he can trigger them on separate turns, or if it has to be the same turn. When this unit wins a clash while having Strider Woo, only 3 Line Breaker can be gained per turn, and it cannot gain Line Breaker with Obsidian Stormrider Crescent Decapitator. Well, we haven't seen anything about that, have we? Now, if we uptie again, we go from 3 to 6 to 4 to 7. Skill gained, Cavalry Vanguard Charge. If this unit's speed is faster than the target, Final Power +1, deal Line Break on self times 10% damage to a maximum of 40%. It flips 3 4 plus 4 coins and starts at 5, so that's a 17. Or an 18 if he's faster. Oh wait, no, there's coin power +1 for every 5 rupture and tremor on the target. And it's a maximum of 2, so that's +6. 6 plus 6, that's 24, so actually pretty strong for a 3 uptie in Identity. Anyway, activate Obsidian Stormrider Crescent Decapitator instead. We did actually go over all this, didn't we, in the first episode? Inflict Rupture and Tremor. Inflict Bind and Tremor Count. Trigger a Tremor Burst, reduced count by 1. At 2 plus Strider Vu, inflict a concussion. And then we gain the Unbreakable Coins. And attack weight +1 and 3 attack weight. If this unit's speed is faster than the target, Final Power +1. Apply Commanding Cry to all other allies next turn, once per turn. Gain 3 Strider Vu. Coin power +1 for every 5 rupture plus tremor on target. Oh, I should have looked at these passives because he has basic built-in passives. When activating Exalted Command, Lord of Hongwan Honglu gains the following effect. On hit with a base skill, trigger a Tremor Burst. If Family Hierarch candidate Ishmael is an actively participating unit, activate the following. When she inflicts Rupture or Rupture Count with skill effects, she gains Poise Potency twice per turn excluding Ego. Apply 1 attack power up to Family Hierarch at turn start. If she has 10 plus Poise Potency, inflict an extra attack power up. After using Obsidian Stormrider's Crescent Decapitator, use Crimson Spring as an assist attack. Okay, so back to the business. Apply Commanding Cry to all allies, gain Clash Power and Defense level. Not bad. Gain 3 Strider Vu. Gain +2 coin power. On Clash Win, if faster than the target, deal 50% more damage. So it rolls a 25, huh? Or a 26 because of the Fine Power bonus. Inflict Rupture and Tremor. Inflict Rupture Count and Tremor Count. Inflict a Concussion. Trigger 2 Tremor. Why can't it just say trigger Tremor Burst twice then reduce target's Tremor Count by 2? It's not like there's any difference here. Skill upgrade. Raise the base power of a skill 1, so it's 3 plus 4. That's 11 with both coin power conditions. That's 15. Wow. Raise the base power. So we have 4 plus 5, that's 14. But then throw in 8 and it becomes 20. Backup passive. Apply the effect to the one ally with the highest max HP. At combat start, gain affected unit's speed difference level between this turn and last turn times 2 defense level. Maximum of 5. If affected unit was not an active participant last turn, use minimum base speed to calculate value. At combat start, if the affected unit is less than 50% HP and speed difference between this turn and last turn is 3 or higher, heal 50 HP but only once per encounter. Of course, the real draw here is Uptie's story.
소리 나거라. 모래는 일거라. 함성은 메아리 치거라. 도망칠 곳 없는 길목이거라. 군주의 말대로 악신품은 역적 배언했으니 부디 호모는 두려워 말고 나아가거라.
You don't really get much time to read the dialogue, do you? Are you at peace? I ask in this aimless letter without a recipient, for you've sailed off on a journey where my words may never reach. Perhaps your heart is finally at ease, as you had always wished to travel to new lands beyond Dangwon-yan. I have not fared well in your absence. With your passing on, my liberator from the leash of a Heishou, it seems that I have become an outsider to Dangwon-yan overnight. My freedom was already paid for to return to me whence I came. I was an outsider to the Jia family, to let me stay in Dangwon-yan as I had done, making me a man who, with his half-freedom, was doomed to wander lost in Hongwan. The Soma that was leashed for the better half of his life finds the concept of freedom itself alien. The marks left by the leash that once held me itch, as I brush and scratch through my memories. Perhaps I've ruminated overlong in the foreword. I took up the brush today to reminisce upon the memories I share with the young miss. Let us endeavour in that effort. At the incipience there was a vast field, upon which I galloped. I remember not since when I had begun my galloping, but where my earliest recollection begins, I was already a quadruped horse, leashed by a master, steered by his saddle to somewhere. Such is the fate of most Heishou. Once all is said and done, the memory that remains burned into our psyche isn't what drove us to become Heishou. It is the very first memory of our transfiguration. The sensation remains painfully vivid even now, cracking and boiling like my biped legs did, dripping with viscosity as my entrails begin to drop, only to be caught by flesh and leather that was mine, yet alien. Once it was all said and done, I had become a quadruped. Yet no memory of mine thereafter remains nearly as vivid. Instead, they are consistent and colourless. A life led by the reins. Eventually, the vanguard of a cavalry. I failed to recall exactly what excellence of mine it was that boosted me to the front of all others. Perhaps the answer lies in the sentiment that one of my past leash-bearers had once shared. That the darkness of my armour, the shadows cast on my impassive countenance, kindled the least among of guilt in him. Why would I, he said, feel any guilt when you are but a storm-like mindless disaster that strikes indiscriminately? The sentiment was most shameful to be saddled with, yet shame was a foreign feeling then. But I do not hold it in much contempt, as it was exactly what had led you to select me. Indeed, it was about then that you, young miss, first held my leash. You are certainly an odd one, even with the benefit of hindsight. How odd it was that you would use the cavalry not to break your foes, but to defend yourself from them. In a few days under your service, I came to conclude that my lord is too feeble to grow her clan. After a few more days under your service, I came to conclude that you had no other Heishou to choose from for your tasks. Thus, I assumed that the leash should be changing hands to another's in no time. Or so I had thought. In about 2 or 3 months, my thoughts changed once again. Nay, it found clarity. I came to conclude that what she had sought wasn't a tool to exploit and cast aside when their usefulness was spent. She was looking for a companion in her adventuring path. That single understanding unlocked many others. That to bring along an army of hundreds on an adventure is to bring a great burden, and that to abandon them is foolish. It's supposed to be Ishmael, right? Not Don Quixote? They found value in what was made yours. Perhaps it was then, when I had first begun to address her as my young miss. For many nights to this day I pondered, why did young miss choose me? As to free a Heishou, an adept at that, and make him her companion, exacts a terribly monumental price. There must have been more to it than simply relinquishing her hold of the steeds. I searched through the memories of our exchanges, inscribing them, delving into the chasm of memories with the items upon which those recollections left marks. Allow me to share a supposition of my own in that regard. I recall a memory of a certain day in which you, with your usual tact and attitude, bemoaned a sense of aimlessness as to why you toiled to become the family hierarch, even as you prepared for the evaluation. As that was the bearing with which young Miss oft carry yourself, my reply was just as quotidian. Like I know what that word is. Quotidian. When was it, young miss, that you found most joy in Hongwan? And your reply was, I believe, what kind of joy is there to be found in Hongwan anyway? Thus I replied, perhaps you could strive to become the Ham family hierarch, so that one day joy may indeed be found in Hongwan. In truth, I knew not the meaning behind that dialogue with you, not until this rumination has found its end today. Your reply was the same as always. Stop saying dumb things! And that was the end of that. However, upon hearing his tale, I believe I gained an inkling of an understanding. Indeed, him. Your killer. As I wandered aimlessly lost in the yellow ways of Hongwan, he emerged from his shadows to address me. He explained thusly that he found the stable of steeds incomplete without its vanguard, that he'd been wandering in search of the Adept. And to that I replied, it had already been too long since I was last leashed as a Heishou. Surely there would be other Adepts who were better fit for his vision. But he shook his head, and claimed that, in all the histories of the East and the West, there was but one Adept to ride at the vanguard of his cavalry. The same one who once served his little sister. Unable to quash my curiosity, I asked. Well, I could accept his decision to liberate my young miss from the machinations of the wraiths lurking underneath Dangwon-yan. Hardly could within myself forgive one who has swung his fell crescent to end her life. Thus why is it that he would seek me out, to goad me into none other than his leash, when I could well have been whetting the blade of vengeance against him? To that he replied thusly. Those who seek to bring prosperity, to have the lowly streets bloom with the happy laughter of happy bands and humble merchants' stalls to hum with lively hubbub, must keep the most excellent steed. I recalled that you once spent much time conversing him. For some time in the past, his purpose seemed little different from yours, young miss. The only delineation being the hesitation, or the lack thereof, before bloodshed. Do the ends justify the means? A banal question. It is so difficult to answer when confronted with it. That man's bloody bandages told me of the future. The kind of bloodshed he would usher into the world of darkness, to bring about the Hongwan he sought to realize. But I decided to correct my thinking. If all other means are lost, then the ends, at the very least, must hold true. Today, young miss, I did not ingest the suppression bolus you had gifted me. The characteristics of a Heishou shall then return to me alone, for a body logged with Heishou boluses are forever changed. I wear the mask again, indeed the same mask that I had once buried deep for safekeeping and sealing. The mask you had made me, young miss, out of shards of the exoskeleton that grew whenever I took the equine form. When the time comes, I will bite down upon the gag and allow others to lead me by my reins once again. I know not how to feign this memory of mine. I do not know. Okay. I know not how faint this memory of mine shall be again. But I shall remember you, my young miss, by writing, revising, then reading this letter without destination. All to finish the dream you had sparked. Now let me trot on. Let me break into a gallop. If my path is not to your liking, I will always welcome your usual scathing reproach. For I would gladly hear your voice again. Yet you needn't be impatient. My gait is swifter than any in Hongwan, so I don't suppose it will be long ere I embark on a journey to find you. I have enough experience tickets to max him out so I can use him in battle. Although maybe I don't want to absolutely max him out, maybe I just want to get close. Because think about it, I'm not going to be able to avoid Sinclair Chicken. That's just not going to be happening because I don't have the patience to go back into the mirror dungeon again. Which means I might as well bring Sinclair. I might as well bring the Vu. So let's see, at final uptie. Clash Wind, inflict bind next turn, twice per turn. Inflict a little bit more rupture and a little bit more tremor. If this unit is faster than target by 2 or more, deal line breaker times 20% damage. Coin power +1 for every rupture. If target had... If target has Deathrite, inflict concussion. If target doesn't have Deathrite, inflict concussion. That's a little bit of a problem, isn't it? Cavalry's Vanguard Charge. If the unit is faster than the target, deal line breaker times 20% damage to a maximum of 80%. At 3+ line breaker, convert everything to unbreakable coins. At 3+ line breaker, inflict additional bind. Inflict 2 concussions. And inflict concussion on Clash Wind. And another concussion. And gain a type on his defensive skill. At turn end, remove 1 randomly removable negative stat effect applied to self. Yes, please. Yes, please. When this unit has shield, gain shield HP divided by 10 defense level. So where does he get shield? This is a Clashable Guard. It does not give shield. When applying Commanding Cry, gain of 3 offense level this turn and next turn. But if they've already gained offense level from this passive, only gain it next turn. Gain shield for the turn. So that's where Line Breaker comes into it. So at 5 line breaker, he's actually getting a lot of defense level, so he's quite the slash tank. Oh boy. I don't even have time to show off the spring cultivation actual me. I still need to go back to do the mini game and get all the things that I didn't get. So we have a few stages. This doesn't look like story, this looks like just a fight. Who to pull?
보는 눈은 있네요. 여기서 저만큼 유능한 인재는 흔치 않죠.
명을 받듭니다. 이제야 부름.
어디서?
잠깐! 이번 임무는
걸맞는 곳이어야 할 거다.
명령을
책임은
And now just double checking. Thoracalgia, red sheets, etc. No problems, no problems. Honestly, Canavinius whaling would be kind of good now that we have a trimmer buddy. Yeah, let's do it.
사냥감인가?
And let's do it quickly. Oh, I thought there wasn't going to be any story. In that case, we'll probably tackle this next episode. So until then, guys, take care. I'll see you all around.